Well, hi there. I feel pretty good for someone in pain. Um, it is Saturday, February the 6th, Journal 407, T+686, I think. Um, it's interesting. I actually wrote the bulk of this blog post on Monday, um, but it's been a difficult week, which is what brought me to the topic, actually, and that has to do with the debilitating impact of pain in general. But actually, a couple of hours ago, I took a ride on my stationary bike on my Peloton, and it was a 40-minute ride, the longest ride I've been able to take since we got the bike, and I was able to start working out again and rebuild my endurance and try and get myself back together. Um, it's a 30-minute real ride, real in quotes, and a 10-minute cool down. And it worked out well. I mean, I was really starting to feel like I'm building endurance and whatnot. And I may be riding for all the wrong reasons. I ride because when I get off the bike, the endorphins take the place of the pain, and I'm able to go ahead and function, and at least for a little while. And I've been for pain management shots, and I'm not sure exactly what they manage. They certainly don't manage the pain. They may be managing me within the realm of that pain, but they don't do much else. The ride was glorious. I mean, it was just incredible, and I really enjoyed that. Um, and it's the only way for me to persevere, uh, for me to get through it, and I think that's an important part of what we're talking about. Yeah, all of us at one point or another are going to have to deal with pain. All of us are going to take a hit or two. That's just the natural rhythm of life. The herpes shingles zoster pain, because it's in my forehead and around my eye, is just brutal. The fact that it's on my left side doesn't help because I sleep on my left side, which means the left side of my head is on the pillow. So it's impacting my sleep as well as everything else. Um, and it's horrendous pain, and that comes from somebody who's no stranger to pain. I've had my share, chemo lesions in my throat, in my, in the soft tissue in my mouth. Weren't exactly a walk in the park. I mean, 55 years ago, I was in a warehouse fight with a guy who said he hated people of my heritage, and I decided to, to give him a reason, and I did, and I in the course of that, I broke my fifth metacarpal and have a boxer's break in my knuckle. Now lives way down here instead of way up here where it ought to. I broke my foot in boot camp, and that tells me when it's going to rain pretty regularly. It's probably more accurate than the weatherman. Um, but the fact of the matter is, despite the fact that that break hurt when I broke it, and it hurt worse when they said it, one of the two times in my life I almost passed out from the pain. That's going to happen. I mean, in the course of in my case, a blue collar life well lived, you're going to go ahead and have breaks and sprains and cuts and whatever. Um, it's unavoidable. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just a fact of life. The question is, what do you do about it? Um, the question is, how do you react? The question isn't whether or not you're going to get knocked down. You're going to get knocked down. I can almost guarantee it. I can assure you that you're going to get knocked down. You know, whether you decide to stay in your house or walk out the front door, the danger is always there. So the question isn't whether or not it's going to happen. The question is, what are you going to do about it when it does happen? How are you going to go ahead and process it? How are you going to go ahead and handle that information? The problem that I have is that as much as I'd like to roll up in a ball and quit, I can't. I'm not wired that way. What happens to me is that, as I wrote in the blog post, despite the debilitating pain, what happens to me is I seem to have this renewed commitment to gut it out, to get through it. Despite the pain, my normal reaction is to dig in and try and transcend the pain in any way I can. Trying to find workarounds, trying to find things that work, or things that are going to help. Now, that's not to say that I enjoy it. I certainly don't. This shingles pain has been going on for 3 months. I've gotten 2 injections in my, 2 procedures where I was sedated and had injections in my neck, trying to find the nerve ganglia that's responsible for it. I had one in my cheek to try and find it. I've had 3 or 4 sets of injections in my forehead. I don't even know if you can see that purple dot that's still there, to try and mitigate the pain, and without much success. But regardless, I'll be goddamned if I'm going to let that define me, if I'm going to let that stop me in any way. I'm not going to tell you that it hasn't slowed me down, because it has, but I'm not going to stop. My fear is that it'll take too much to get started again. The rolling resistance would be enough to get me stopped, and I'm not sure that I'd be able to overcome it at this particular point, so I'm not going to let it stop me. In any case, something to think about. Be prepared. If it's happened to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If it hasn't happened to you yet, I hope it doesn't, but if it does, be prepared. Stay well, take care, stay safe, stay home, stay focused, stay strong.